Hello, everyone. This is me, myself, and my vinyl. My name is Kevin. Just wanted to give a quick introduction uh, to me and kind of how I got into collecting records and why I kind of started a channel. Um, my name is Kevin. I'm 40 years old. My birthday was last October, so I'm turned 40 about 3 months ago. I live in Georgia. I was born in 1980. I grew up in New Jersey till I was about 10 and then moved to Florida and lived there for most of my life. And now I'm in northern Georgia, a little bit, about 30 minutes north of Atlanta. Just give a little background because I think if it's important, I think we're all products of our age and our environment, right? So it kind of gives you a little bit of where I'm coming from. So music for me, kind of the first things I remember was pop music of the 80s. Kind of came into my own with music in the 90s, started making my own decisions about what I really like instead of just listening to the radio and stuff. But definitely like 90s music. Kind of started with, the grunge era. I was in middle school and that kind of took hold and kind of on into high school. So that's a little bit of a background. You're influenced by where you live and who you're around. My parents, they grew up listening to 50s and 60s music. So I heard that in my house quite often, like Motown from the 50s and, the Beatles and then Led Zeppelin and then, Pink Floyd, all through like the classic rock era. It was kind of my parents, and then I have a brother who's 7 years older than I am, so he was kind of into that 80s metal scene a little bit. We also lived in New Jersey, so I got my plenty of fill of Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi at the time, and to a certain extent, Billy Joel. So it took me a while to come back around on those three, but anyway, I kind of, definitely took to the grunge era and kind of branched out from there. And I'm still branching out. Like I said, I'm 40 years old and I'm still learning new things and I'm still getting into new things. And just in this past year, my collection has kind of taken all sorts of different roads and it's really great. Partly due to the fact that I found so many great channels on YouTube. That kind of have introduced me to some different things, from jazz to like soul and funk and psychedelic rock and some other things, that 80s metal. So kind of dipping my toe in a bunch of different things right now, and that's all thanks to some of the people out there that I watch. So getting into records, kind of a story that I was dating my now wife, and we were having a yard sale with a bunch of people. A few couples having a joint sale. I sold my stereo. I had kind of a 90s stack stereo that had came with it was in one of those big, faux wooden cases that had the glass front with the big door that swung open with the metal thing you push in and it clicks in. It had a turntable, it had an equalizer, it had a receiver, it had a tape deck, and it had a 5-disc CD changer. Well, what I had pieced some of it out. I didn't keep the tape deck. I didn't keep the record player, right? Didn't have any records at the time, but I sold it. I had a couple Bose speakers that were actually pretty nice that I inherited from a buddy of mine. I had the CD player, I had the equalizer, and I had the tape deck. I had the receiver. Took that. It was the first thing that sold. Some guy bought it. I think he paid $50 for it all. Took it. And then lo and behold, my 30th birthday rolled around. So this is about 10 years ago. And that same buddy that we were having the yard sale with at his house, he came up to me, and on my 30th birthday, he hands me this. This is my first record that I've ever owned, except for the plastic Fisher-Price disc from the 80s when you had that, it was basically a toy. It was a Fisher-Price, and they had like, blue and yellow and orange, very bright, like 45s, and like this heavy, heavy plastic, and basically you couldn't scratch them or anything. And they're essentially toys, right? So he was getting into collecting records, and he knew that this was my favorite band, at least at the time it was, JJ Grey and Mofro, the Choice Cuts. Now, he gave me this, and he said, enjoy the ride. He knew I just hold my stereo, so I didn't even have anything to play this on. He goes, well, now you're in it. And that was 10 years ago. Like, I've had this for a while. Record collecting was definitely not what it is right now. There was no real resurgence. We had a couple of record stores in Tampa. Vinyl Fever was one, and it has since shut down, which is a shame because it was a great place. But slowly, I started beginning collecting records. My wife bought me a turntable for, again, we weren't married at the time, but she had bought me my first turntable. It was a decent, entry-level turntable. It was a Sony. And, slowly acquired some records. But this one started it all. And for those of you who don't know JJ Grey and Mofro, they're kind of like a southern rock, blues, soul, I don't know, it's kind of a melting pot. JJ Grey, it used to just be Mofro, and then the band has gone through some changes, some lineup changes. So eventually, he does most of the writing. I think he does all the writing, and plays most of the instruments in the writing process. They have horns, and they have keyboards, and guitars, drums. So it's a unique sound, I think, but they're big on the they're kind of big on the touring circuits and the festival circuits. So one of my favorite bands. But and this, up until about a month ago, was the only release they had, and this was a great gift. I mean, it led me into collecting records, and right now I just checked this on Discogs before making this video, and the median price is $175. So thanks to my buddy, who knew at the time that this would be kind of a rare record, and I don't know, it's one of my prized pieces just because it was my first, and it's actually become a rare record. So all right, I'm starting a channel just because because I've made a response video to JC at the Flip Side, his 1,000 sub contest. I made my first video, basically to just say thank you to him, because I really enjoy his channel, his content, and he just puts out a ton of videos. I think he does 4 a week, or at least he tries to, which is kind of insane if you ask me. And through that, I've kind of recently found a ton of more channels, and they've opened me up to different genres of music. I made another video recently before this about a grail that I just got. It was Pearl Jam Versus original pressing. I splurged and went ahead and got it, and I love it. And I don't know, just keep it going. I haven't found out a schedule yet. Still working around my work schedule. I got a wife and 2 kids, and our house, you can kind of see. I got a brand new door here, and I got some unfinished stuff. We've been in the middle of a renovation for a while, so I was able to carve out a little space for my records room. So I'm in the process. You'll probably see, if I keep progressing, kind of soundproof in this room a little bit. It's actually our old laundry room. So the acoustics here aren't great, but I need to fix it up. But this room's kind of one of the last on the list of priorities to do, but hopefully soon. it'll start coming together. But for right now, it's my little sanctuary. And anyway, I just wanted to give you a little insight into who I am, and kind of a little bit of what you'll see. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that record before. It's pretty rare. But by no intention of anybody. I mean, my buddy just got it for me on a whim. So that started my record collection, and now I cursed him because I got an addiction. I'll show you in a different new video. I got a problem. So I got a backlog of like 100 records right now. it's kind of ridiculous. So, but I love it. Anyway, thank you to all you out there who've inspired me to start making videos, and I'll see you around. Bye.